Howdy guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be sitting down, doing my makeup. Obviously, don't have any on yet, and just kind of talking about mental health, random stuff. I'm going to be trying some new to me products, and we'll see where this goes. I think let's just start with this UOMA Say What foundation. I just got this from the Ulta sale, and I'm going to try it for the first time. Are you supposed to shake this or no? Doesn't really say. I'll shake it anyways. So I got the shade White Pearl T1N, and I am not 100% sure if this is a match. I haven't even tried it. Oh, that is not what I expected. Very liquidy. Get my sponge. It has a very strong smell, like a perfumey. Now it's more like soapy, like a scented soap. Oh, okay, that shade is better than I thought. I was kind of afraid this would be too dark because I saw someone else use it, and I think they got the same shade that I did. Or no, maybe they got the, this foundation is kind of confusing with their number system. So there is a T1N that's like my shade, and then there's a T1N that's like deep, and it goes by like the white pearl, and then they have like the black pearl and that kind of stuff. So I think maybe they used the next shade range up from me that were T1N, so maybe that's why I thought that it would not match. I was kind of scared at first when it came out really liquidy. I thought that it wouldn't be able to apply with the sponge, but it worked pretty well. So what kind of got me thinking about this video is that I have been like really really lately, but also haven't really done anything about it. This is the first video of mine that you're seeing. Hello, you picked a doozy. But I own my own small business, and I am, long story short, I'm having to shut it down. No fault of my own. I mean, I made the decision to, but it's not that I am making money from it right now, but I am going to have to shut it down because we are moving out of the country fairly soon. And I can't bring it with me. There's just no way. Because I have a lot of inventory and equipment and stuff involved, and I cannot, it would be impossible to take it. And just because I would have to buy all new sewing machines because the outlets are different there, and I have a ton of fabric that weighs a lot, so it's going to cost a lot to ship. So I decided to just kind of let it fizzle out. This looks too light. Can you see my neck? I don't know why I was scared this would be too dark. It's definitely borderline too light. Also, if you're new, I have very bad eyesight, so I'm having trouble trying to see. Maybe it'll oxidize and look better. I mean, it's not bad at all, and it does have really good coverage. I don't see many of my spots anymore. And this is not new. I've had this for a little while, but this is the UOMA Stay Woke the Stay Woke concealer, and I have the shade White Pearl T0.5 that I don't even think that they're making this shade anymore because it's sold out on Ulta, and I didn't even see it on their website. And this shade is too light. I could have gone maybe 2 shades darker than that. I'm just so used to picking the absolute lightest shade and them usually being pretty much too dark, but that's amazing. This is a black owned brand, and I absolutely did not expect them to have something for somebody my skin tone, you know what I mean? So it's if a black owned brand can have a skin tone and shades for printer paper, then why can't other brands have, you get what I'm trying to say? Okay, so far this foundation, really like it. It looks great on, it's just, even though it's probably a little bit too light, but once I put powder and bronzer and stuff on, it should be fine. It is almost set. It's coming off just a tiny bit on my finger, but it's pretty much almost set on its own, which I really like because I prefer a matte foundation. Sometimes if a foundation is not matte on its own, you can get it to be matte with powder, but sometimes you can't. So if this one sets on its own, then I know that I'm golden. Even though it doesn't really matter to me right now because with masks and stuff, I wear a mask maybe 5 minutes a day to go just run into the post office and drop off packages, but other than that, it's not like I'm wearing it all day and have to worry about my makeup transferring. I do think though that I put my glasses back on for a second. I think I applied a little bit too much of the foundation, so maybe next time I will try a little bit less. I'm just kind of giving it a second to set and I'll see how it goes. And I did not put on a primer beforehand either. I had a video go up like a month ago maybe, and I tested out primer, like one half of my face using primer, one half not, and I go watch the video, but spoiler alert, I literally did not see any difference with the primer versus without, so I don't think they're necessary. But yeah, this is definitely setting down, but it's not transfer proof. And I know that concealer does get pretty matte as well. I'm just setting it with this Colourpop powder that I'm trying to use up. I've just been really kind of stressed out lately. I mean, I'm sure everybody is, but I also have fairly, like within the last few months, kind of realized that I most likely have ADHD. And it's like, kind of figuring that out has been good, but also bad, because I can kind of, like if you have something like that, not just ADHD, but anything else, you can kind of start to blame stuff on it, you know? And that's not what I want to do. I'm gonna set my face just a little bit with this e.l.f. Beautifully Bare powder, also that I'm trying to use up. I've been working for myself since March, and I have videos about that as well, but I have noticed that now that I don't have somebody telling me what to do, a specific time that I need to clock in and clock out and all that stuff, I, number one, can like overwork and work all day, but also I don't have like, I need to almost impose rules onto myself because I don't really have like a sense of urgency with a lot of things. So I've started doing restocks on my Etsy shop every Friday at 5 p.m. because if I don't set a specific date like that for myself, I'm not gonna get it done. I'm gonna use this Milani Silky Matte Bronzing Powder in the light shade. This is new to me. It's definitely not a new product, but it's kind of come to a head, I guess you could say, recently, because my fiance graduates in literally almost exactly 2 months, and I have so much that I both really do need to get done, but also so much stuff that I've kind of imposed on myself that I need to do. Since I can't continue my one Etsy shop that I'm doing, I am trying to do stuff like for YouTube and my new blog, and also I am setting up a separate business selling different stuff on like Etsy, and I'm trying to sell like digital products, like printable stuff that you can buy and like print out instead of me having to ship things, because I feel like that would be a lot easier. So I'm trying to get that done, but that one is actually not getting anywhere at all. I have gotten a little bit farther with my blog and everything, but it's definitely not anywhere close to like being able to be monetized or anything like that. I have applied for monetization on it, like with ads, with Google AdSense, because this channel actually used to be monetized until they changed the rules, and now I'm not monetized anymore. So if you want to help, subscribe and watch some more of my videos and help me get some more watch time. But I applied for the monetization and they had me like change a few things on the website, and then I resubmitted it and they haven't gotten back to me, and it's been a while. So for blush, I have these e.l.f. bite-sized face duos that I can never get open. This one is in Pomegranate. The other one that I have is the White Peach, and it's a little bit too yellow. I don't think I want to go for that. These are really pigmented though. I feel like they would work for deeper skin tones, and I just have to be really careful with it because they are pretty strong. On top of trying to figure out moving the business around and everything, I have to also move around my life, my stuff, and I am probably going to bring everything in like 2 suitcases and maybe have my parents ship me a trunk of some more stuff after I get there. But that means I obviously have more than 2 suitcases worth of stuff right now, and I'm going to maybe have a yard sale in a couple weeks, which I really dread because I don't even go to yard sales myself because I don't know. And especially with, you know, deadly virus going around. But I have to, like, there is no other option. I sure am not about to sell everything on Facebook Marketplace because I'd rather just not, like I'd rather just throw it all away than try to sell it on Facebook Marketplace, TBH. I'm gonna use the highlighter from this palette, even though I feel like it's a little bit too dark, but if I sheer it out, it's okay. At the same time, my orders are picking up because I sell face masks mainly, which is one thing that I straight up don't want to sell face masks. I never wanted to in the first place, but they're the only thing that has kept my shop afloat and helped me pay my bills. Like if I didn't sell face masks, I probably would have had to go get a regular job or something, because which is impossible anyways because everybody's laid off, you know. So it's like I prayed and prayed and prayed for that business to be my full-time job to pay my bills, and I finally got it, and I was like, And he's like, well, you got what you asked for, didn't you? I was like, yeah, but... And I don't want to seem ungrateful for it because I am, but like, it's just not exactly how I wanted it to go. That wasn't the purpose of my shop that I opened it. I wanted to sell eco-friendly stuff, and which, I mean, the masks kind of do fit into that, but I just never, I don't know. I would feel like I was kind of forced into it. I didn't decide on my own. Okay, not doing setting spray today because I want to see what this foundation does on its own. Looking at my neck, it doesn't... No, the color's okay. It's just a smidge too light. If I put lip balm on, this is bugging me. You have to look at this. That made it worse. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I think I'm gonna just continue using this KVD Super Brow. So I ordered some stuff from KVD and they had a couple sample options, and one of them was their Super Brow that normally comes in a pot like a gel eyeliner or something, and they sent this little sample pack, which is awesome because I wanted to buy some anyways. The lightest shade in here was the shade Taupe, and it's a little bit too dark, but it's also starting to dry out, so that's why I want to use it today. And they have a shade lighter called Blonde, so I think if I actually buy this, I'll get the blonde shade. This foundation color is, I can't stop like thinking about it because normally my foundation is like too dark, but now that it's the right color, I'm like, it's too light. So just the combination of having to move my business, keeping up with YouTube, keeping up with Instagram because I am trying to grow that, trying to set up the new stuff, also keeping up with like today, for example, I was supposed to go to my dad's house because my grandparents are in town, and my brother, I was supposed to bring my brother because we live with my mom, not my dad, and we were supposed to go to his house, but my brother was like, oh, I'm not feeling it, and I was like, oh, thank goodness, because I was rushing to the post office at the last minute to get orders out, and I still had to film tomorrow's video, which is today's video that you're watching, and I need to get a move on with stuff for craft shows that are coming up, which is another thing. I have 3 to 4 more craft shows coming up this year, like just next month. Like there's one the week after next, and then there's 3 in October. But there's one that I don't know if I've gotten in yet, and it's driving me insane because I'm like, I need to know if I have a spot so I can get ready, you know. It's not like I can just show up. I have to make stuff. And I'm also having to sell off all of my product and my supplies because I need the money, and I don't want to have this stuff sitting around. And this is all like completely my fault. Like I don't wake up in the mornings until 11 or 12, and I'm capable of getting up at like 8 in the morning or something, and I have my alarm set for 8 o'clock, but I just don't get out of bed till 11. Like I can't. And I know that I could get more stuff done in the day if I don't sleep for like 12 hours, you know? And it's like I have all this stuff to do and just don't. I'll get to the end of the day and I'm like, I don't even know what I did today. Did I stare at the wall for 9 or 10 hours or what? I think even without the ADHD and I did have anxiety previously, which doesn't help, but I feel like even with all that, everything that's going on right now, like it's okay to not be productive, but also I'm like, I need to be because I only have 2 months to do all this stuff. I used to have the Anastasia dip brow stuff, which is pretty much the same thing that this stuff is, and I always felt like I got too much, like too out of hand with that when I applied it, and I'm kind of feeling the same thing with this stuff right now. So you're trying to make them even. It's kind of like eyeliner, you're trying to make it even, but then you mess it up trying to fix it, and Alright, using this Colourpop Brow Boss gel that's almost out. Like that kind of helps both tame the hairs that are pointing straight down and also spreads out the color a little bit like a spoolie. Alright, brows are done, and now I'm going to use this KVD Shake Primer. I've been testing this out. I didn't plan today's video because I was going to do a review comparison of this primer, and I wanted to test it just a little bit more. It's actually kind of difficult to use, like it has a little bit of a learning curve. You have to shake it a lot and then get a drop quick and put it on. It has like a 2-part liquid in there, and if you don't shake it and then get it out really fast, it separates again before you can even put it on. And you gotta let it dry for a little bit before you put foundation, before you put eyeshadow on. So it's not really a glass, it kind of looks like glass. I'm keeping my eyelids closed so it doesn't stay together. But this is, you can kind of see it there. It's like a 2-part liquid until you shake it up, and then it has a little button on the bottom that helps you get a drop out. It does not cover any discoloration or like veiny nonsense on your lids. I'm going to go for the e.l.f. JKISSA palette because I haven't used it in a little while. Actually, that's a lie. I just used it yesterday, but I haven't like posted a look with it yet. I'm posting that look in a few days. That foundation did kind of come off on my nose a little bit because of my glasses, but that's pretty normal. I'm going to go in with the shade Paloma, that darker yellow. Like I was saying, this is kind of my fault that I am not getting stuff done, but also it's not, like, I don't know. I need to get on some kind of a schedule, like maybe 9 to 5-ish. I can work on my business, and then like nights and weekends get my other stuff done, like going through my stuff to sell and working on the blog and everything. But I also, like with the ADHD thing, I kind of feel like I just need to bounce around into whatever is catching my interest at the time, because that's really the only way that I'm productive, is if I just, like if there's one thing that I really am interested in at that point, like it's just something that I'm doing, whether it's working on stuff for Pinterest or doing the printable stuff, then I need to work with that like hyper focus type of thing and get as much done as I can during that time. And then once I'm kind of like mentally done with it, then that's it. That means that I'm not as interested in other things, and if there's something else that I need to do during that time, it's not going to get done. Like coffee and stuff, it does help me a little bit, but I can't drink, like my stomach cannot handle drinking coffee more than once, maybe twice a day. But with stress, I get acid reflux, so coffee plus acid reflux is not good. And I don't like tea. I know I've tried like every kind of tea and I don't like it, so take the shade Zuma, it's the darker orange. And along with like the anxiety and worrying about things and the ADHD is that I forget to eat, which is bad because I have hypoglycemia. So if I forget to eat, I will pass out. And that kind of messes up my sleeping, because if I forget to eat, like say I forget to eat lunch, and then I'll eat dinner at like 5 p.m., which is kind of a normal time for people to eat dinner, I think, is 5 p.m. if you go to bed at like 8 or 9. But if I go to bed, if I eat and then I'm not hungry by the time I should be eating dinner, then I go to bed and my sugar drops in the middle of the night, if I can even sleep at all in the first place. And it's just a never-ending cycle of forgetting to eat and not being able to sleep. And then sometimes though it's worse, I think, when I'm like hyper-focused on something, because I honestly, like, because of the hypoglycemia and stuff, I don't really ever feel like hungry, like, not that my stomach is growling hungry, but like I feel like I need to eat because I know that feeling like my blood sugar is getting low. So I eat because of that and not because I'm hungry. So then if I don't feel hungry and I'm not noticing, like if I'm super focused on something and not noticing that that I'm feeling kind of peckish, you know, because of the low blood sugar, then that is not good. This foundation, I can still smell it, so not that big of a fan of that. I'm going to use the shade Pepper or the darker red shade. And I tried to use the lighter red shade and the lighter purple shade of Casey and Sadie in this palette aren't very good. Like they're pretty stiff and hard to work with. So like they're pretty stiff and hard to work with, and they don't really show up that well. Which I will give JKISSA credit because she did say that in her reveal video. Because those shades, like purples and reds, are hard to do in a vegan formula without carmine. So they have to use other things to make them have that color, which don't blend well. Even though this is a bright rainbow palette, this is kind of a grungy look, I think. I am going to take some glitter glue because I feel like you need that for these shimmer shades in here. I'm going to try this on my finger because sometimes when I use a brush with it, it takes off the eyeshadow underneath. Okay, yeah, that was a little better than if you need a precise application, you need a brush, but since I'm not really doing it too precisely, just don't want to get too much. And if you have hooded lids and you put glitter glue on like that, don't open your eyes. Like, what's even the point of this video? And I am like kind of sharing some new products, but also I was kind of venting, I guess. I'm going to use the shade Strawberry. It's a shimmery red. Pack that on over top of that other red. I've cursed myself because in one video I said that I never get fallout, and the last like 3 looks I've done, I've gotten fallout everywhere. I guess my message to you guys would be, if you are feeling kind of the same as me, even if you don't have ADHD or whatever, like I think that's totally fine and normal. You don't have to be productive 100% of the time. Like, just do stuff that you like, that makes you happy. Even if you, like, I know some of you guys make videos and stuff too, and you kind of feel like everything you do, it has to be for a video, but it doesn't. And I need to learn that myself because I rarely put on makeup that I don't like take a picture or anything of. I think I'm going to do purple on the lower lash line. Using Pretty Girl, which is the darker purple. I need to set some kind of I kind of mentioned it earlier, I think, but I need to set some kind of a schedule for myself. Because for a while there, like I was doing pretty good at not, you know, like kind of keeping my time separate and doing stuff that I liked. And for a couple months after that, it's just a blur. I'm gonna try to blend that purple up into the outer corner a little bit so it kind of blends the top and bottom together. I had a huge dip in Sadie, the lighter purple, because I was trying to use it for a couple different looks and it just never turned out. And it was so powdery, I had to dip into it multiple times. I thought this was going to be similar to other looks I've done with this palette, like with the warm colors on top, but I think it's a little bit different, maybe. Especially with the purple, I kind of put the purple up over my crease area a little bit too. And then for another new product, I have this NYX Glitter Gold, I always say this wrong, the Glitter Goals eyeliner. This is just the glitter eyeliner, duh. And I think I want to put a little bit of this in the inner corner. I've done that a few times and I kind of like it. Another thing that's been kind of bothering me is that I am scared to kind of leave my business behind because it is making me money right now. Not a ton, but you know, I'm paying my bills. And I don't tend to have to like pay for literally everything, you know what I mean? Because I would not feel right just being a housewife or whatever. But I know that I'll make money eventually off of the stuff that I'm doing, but it's like I'm not gonna have the money that I make from like selling at the yard sale, and the rest of my sales of my stuff for my business aren't gonna last forever. And I'm kind of scared also that when I move, I know for sure that I'm going to be depressed for a little bit. and I'm not gonna want to do anything. That happened the last time that I moved, and oh, that worked. Okay, that liner was getting kind of put itself into a glob, but I just patted it a little bit and it dispersed. I also have the dilemma, just dilemma after thing to do after thing to do, but I obviously am doing this channel. I'm going to keep that going, and the blog and everything, and Instagram while, you know, while we're in this other country that I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but I kind of don't want to say. I have to move all of my makeup and everything else, and I want to like be trying new stuff, but if I buy more stuff, it's just going to be more stuff that I have to move. And I am planning another declutter in the next few months, like just getting rid of stuff that I don't want to bring. Because I mean, I don't really have anything in my collection that I don't like, but there's stuff that I don't like enough to want to bring it to the other side of the world. So that's something, the thing I'm struggling with too, is just why not another thing. But like with Instagram and YouTube and stuff, it's like I don't ever want to compare myself to other people, but at the same time I'm like trying to look at other people and see what's working for them, you know? I don't think I have like an aesthetic or whatever, and all my clothes are just kind of a random mishmash of stuff that I've collected over the years, and I don't know if that's something that I shouldn't be worrying about. I think that's definitely on the like low on the list of things, is to get an aesthetic, even though I do know the aesthetic that I like and what I would want, but it's just like getting there is not possible right now, because I would have to like throw away or get rid of everything and buy all new, and I don't have the money or the time to do that. So all my mascaras I take and scrape off all of the excess product, because if I use too much, it makes my lashes worse than they already are with pointing straight down. Alright, so there are the eyes done. I got a little bit of mascara under here, but I'll fix that in a second. But I kind of like the way the colors go together. I wasn't sure if the purple, I almost did blue, but I think purple looks better because it's adjacent to red and the rainbow, you know. I use this Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in the shade Nude. Wipe off that. I used to like never use lip liner. I had a few back in the day. I just messed that up again. But I never used it. It's because I didn't have any lipsticks that really I needed it for. Like I don't think I would use a lip liner with a liquid lipstick. But I have this one that I'm about to use that I do need it for. Like it doesn't really look good without a lip liner. Oh, I do have a new lipstick to use, but it's a black, so I don't think I quite want to go for that yet. Maybe closer to Halloween, I think. Even though it's cool to wear black lipstick any time of the year, but I didn't plan ahead. Like my look, I don't know if this would go with black lipstick or not. That's the thing with my makeup too. I never plan ahead. Like I just kind of do my face however I want, and I never match my blush and everything to my eyeshadow and to my lipstick. So I feel like maybe my looks would look better if I paid attention to that. I'm going to use the nude lipstick from Melt. It's called NUDE, N-O-O-D. I don't think this gets talked about a lot anymore. It used to be like a cult favorite. Kind of, Melt's a fairly new brand, I think, and when they first came out, this was one of their like the best-selling ones. But it's just too pale nude without this liner on underneath. So here is the finished look. I feel like that's kind of dark. The lighting's kind of dark today, but it's the same lighting as in every video, so I don't know. So this foundation, I do like it so far. I just wish that it didn't have that scent. I don't know if it's fragrance or if it's just something in it that has a smell. But now that it's kind of dried down, and with the powder and stuff on top, it definitely looks a little bit closer to my skin tone. Oh duh, I did have another new lipsticks. Oh my gosh, I literally have all these new from KVD that I could have used. Awesome. So if you guys have any video ideas, things you want to see, things you want to see me talk about, stuff to review, like if you've seen me show a product but haven't really talked about it much, or you want to see it in action or something like that, then let me know. I also don't know if I'm going to be able to get many new releases this year just because of everything else that I've got to do, and I don't want to have to pack stuff and all that. Probably won't be until after the new year at least before I move, so have a little bit of time, I am trying to also use some stuff up so I don't have to bring like I can get rid of the packaging. And I'm thinking about depotting some things as well. I don't know, this video is dragging on, so I'm gonna go, and again, let me know if you have any suggestions or anything related to what I talked about. If you guys are struggling with the same thing, let me know. Click up here to watch my most recent video, or click up here to watch my last Get Ready With Me, where I talked more about what's going on. And give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss seeing my face in your subscription box every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And all my social media and my blog and everything will be linked in the description, as well as most of the stuff. I think everything that I used today I can link below. So yeah, that's about it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.